Welcome back to the channel. Another Star Trek vid in honor of the 60th anniversary year. Anyone else remember these? Anyone have any of these? Circa 1996 motion picture original film cells. And I'm going to backlight these. I quasi have a complete set, sorta. Let's unbox. These things are kind of a pain to get out of there. And you kind of tear up the box a little bit, you flex it out, but I wanted to show, like, this is kind of yellowed on all these that I have. Even my nicer boxes are yellowed, but the capsule, the protector capsule, is nice and clear on every one of these. Even my roughest boxes, you know, they're all blown out already and yellowed. They've all been good. So if you're looking at these on eBay, keep that in mind. Your capsule's probably going to be good, even if the packaging makes it look yellowed. So, real quick, here's my set, and I am going to backlight these so we can see what film cells I have. And technically, I have a set, but I don't have the complete B variant set. So, these, back in '96, what they did was they carefully selected and hand cut master print that was taken from an original inter negative. So when they film these, when they film the film, obviously it goes onto a negative. And they only have that one negative. So they make inter negatives. So they'll print however many inter negatives, and they use those to make the master copies to send out to all the theaters. Why? That way it keeps, because whatever they're using to make the copies is going to eventually scratch and wear out. So what they did, they took an inner negative, did one print run of a master copy on 70mm film. That's what that is right there, down in here, and they cut frame by frame. So they just sliced up all the frames. So there's a lot of frames in this movie. But technically, it's correct when you look on the packaging and it says one of a kind. Every one of these is one of a kind. They're all numbered down here with the film cell number. And you had an A version and you had B versions. So I'm a little light on my B versions, but technically I have one full set of the A. So I guess the fun would be trying to find a film cell that you like the most in your collection. I do have some that are right in a row, and you can't hardly see any movement on that. Let me set up my backlight here so we can maybe look at some of these, because it was like, what, 24 frames a second, right? But inside these were little slips, so you can see you have the Enterprise edition, the Kirk edition, the Spock edition, the V'ger edition. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and you had A and B versions. Then there was a special variant that you could order. It was the number 5, so I have 5A here. That's the United Federation of Planets edition. Mine actually came from, and I ordered this off eBay. It says exclusive available at Spencer's Gifts. So you could order it, or you might have found yours at Spencer's. I don't know. Let's see if I can. Ooh, that's blinding. Let's get up on this and see what film cells I got. So I do have a 1A of the Enterprise. So I think probably a coveted picture that I would like to get of the Enterprise version, hopefully my B version, would be a nice shot of the Enterprise. Mine is, there we go, I had to put another piece of paper over it to kind of tame that light down a little bit. Mine's not bad. It's Scotty at the Warp Core. So I would like to find even an A, but I definitely need to get a B, right? Hopefully I can find a B that's an actual shot of the Enterprise. Because there's a lot of money shots for the Enterprise. So I'll let you pause and read if you want to read that for the A version. And let's move to the Kirk, Admiral Kirk edition. You see there, it's a pretty good shot. We got Kirk and Scotty. For my A version. And they are, that's when they're in the little transport pod taking a look at the Enterprise. And that was a big deal because the Enterprise was the refit version. First time we'd seen that. So it may seem a little like slow now, but that was the money shots back then. They were getting their money's worth out of that. Here's the B version of the Admiral Kirk edition. I like this picture. I personally like, I like a lot of these uniforms in the motion picture. Granted, the colors were a little muted, but I think Bones had a good uniform. Kirk's looked good. Some of the others, maybe the engineering, were not so great. They were a little too like fluffy, but that's a pretty good shot for the Kirk. For my number 2B version variant. Kirk on the bridge, you got McCoy. That's a good one. I like that. Alright, Spock. Now I only have the 2A. And this is a pretty cool one here. That's him getting the old mind meld going on. He was rugged in this movie. Rugged at the beginning. He needed a haircut. Are the Vulcan or art the human? So he was struggling with that. He fails to achieve Kolinar, the shedding of emotion, after detecting the presence of an entity heading for Earth. I don't think they really explored that great, but I guess he had some type of mind connection to V'ger. It was so powerful. So I need the B version of that. Alright, so what we got here, 4A. So this would be V'ger edition. We got the Klingon. That's not bad. The bridge scene from the Klingons. That's pretty cool. The Klingon captain and his crew are bewildered by this new menace that has entered the Klingon territory. Imperial Klingon cruiser Amar takes evasive action to avoid V'ger's attack. I think they fired some aft torpedoes, didn't they? That's one thing I'd probably change, like how V'ger basically digitizes everything. It was just too powerful. I would have scaled that back a little bit, at least for ships that have shields. The Enterprise was able to somehow make it inside, but these Klingons got their all 3 ships digitized with no problem. And then they didn't show, they built a V'ger model, like that. It's an actual ship. But when I was a kid watching this, I'm like, this big cloud, what is this, right? But there's it's kind of hard to see. There's Ilea and the little probe thingy. So this is a good shot. I actually got lucky with this one because it's the Enterprise. See if I can get it a little bit zoomed in here a little better. Looks better in person, but it's hard for me to get backlit for this camera. So I do have a nice shot of the Enterprise doing what it do. Love that refit. And there's the back of this one. What number is this? 148. In case you're looking for a similar shot, you might be able to find 149 or something. That's the 4B variant. Awesome. And then the special one here. I guess I need to see, maybe they made a B variant of it, but Starfleet or United Federation of Planet Edition. So this is kind of the shuttle with people walking around. Kind of a cool scene. You can see the uniforms. Like I said, I kind of liked them. I don't know. I was young when I saw this movie for the first time, but that's a cool shot as far as the picture here. So there's mine. Like I said, I do have some extras. I don't know if it'd be worth it to try to trade anybody unless I had, but I do need a 1B, 3B, possibly a 5B if that's available. And I have 3 more Spocks. I don't remember what they all look like, but kind of hard to see here. And then the rest of mine in this box are Kirk's. And they're all the A variants. Oh, that's a pretty good shot. I think this is the one I have several. I have more than one, like frame by frame on this. So you got Kirk and Scotty, looks like in a transporter room. Alright, that's show and tell for the day for Star Trek's 60th anniversary 70mm film cells. Alright, I did a vid on that if you want to check that out. Thanks for hanging out with me, putting up with my crazy camera work here. Trying not to make you motion sick, but I am wild sometimes. Boom.